Alright. Let's get started in a quick sec. Doing good, Redlot. I'm just about to start another stream, and even though we can get ourselves onto the SS Leaky right now, we're still going to be stuck on Passaic Beach for quite a while. And that's mostly because I just need a grind for an extra skill for Titus. So I'm just going to load the file right now. Are you going to play Persona 5X? Eventually. I have downloaded the game onto my Steam, but I have not actually played the game yet. Alright, so I'm just going to save over this file just because I know I'm not going to use this file. So playtime of 12 hours and 17 minutes, and I still got to do some grinding. So this grinding is essentially going to make sure that I... excuse me, that I can... what am I doing? Alright, okay, so our main goal is just to get 2 sphere levels onto Titus. That's it. Just get 2 sphere levels onto Titus so we can learn delay attack. That's literally all we need to do is pretty much get the delay attack ability for Titus. That's it. Otherwise, any grinding that we do for Yuna is fine. Any grinding that we do for Waka should hopefully get him to here at least. So we'll definitely have at least Waka and Titus with us. And as for Lulu, it's going to be a while before she gets to the next useful thing. But yeah, I think in general I'm just going to mainly have Lulu, Waka, and Titus in my party. And maybe switch to Luda if I can level everyone else up. But my main goal is just to level Titus up. So I need another 118 AP to level up. And it's probably going to be close to 400 AP to get to the second level. So this is probably going to be a shorter stream. And it's just going to pretty much get Titus up a level, essentially. Okay, so I'm just going to speed up the game. So we're just going to do some more grinding. And, of course, we start off with the ambush. So that's already a reset. God damn it, game. Thank goodness I made some coffee. Okay, my autosave seems to be after my recent save, so I'm going to load the autosave. And pretty much just rely on autosaves as a way of saving. Pretty much autosave in between every battle. God damn it, stop getting ambush attacks. Seriously, I'm trying to grind. And plus, the more times we grind with Lulu, hopefully this will give her a new overdrive mode. Though I'm not confident that we're going to be getting her overdrive mode yet, but the more we grind with Lulu, the sooner we'll hopefully get a new overdrive mode for her. And as for Yuna, it would be great if we can get an overdrive mode for her, so we can level up her overdrive, but at the very least, her summons can still gain overdrive modes from simply attacking. So, Lulu is kind of the main priority when it comes to getting an overdrive mode over Yuna right now. Okay, finally, a non-ambush attack. Awesome. Okay, guard with Titus, hit the birdie with Waka, and Thunder on the flan. So once again, our main goal is just to give Titus 2 more sphere levels. So he can learn the skill Delay Attack, because I think the Delay Attack is the edge that I need to beat one of the upcoming boss fights here. Bye-bye, birdie. But yeah, I will play Persona 5 Phantom X eventually. It's just, it's not a priority to me right now. Or, I mean, it's not that it has not a priority. I just really haven't had time to play it. Alright. Less than 100 AP to get to the next sphere level. So we're pretty much just going to get one sphere level and then a second sphere level. And that's all the grinding we essentially need to do, is essentially just get the delay attack onto Titus. Ooh, a preemptive strike. This is great because we can do this. Guard with Waka. Guard with Lulu. Then we're going to swap Waka out for Yuna. Guard with Yuna. And then attack with Lulu. Overkill, so everyone gains AP. It's really fun, trust. Okay? I have my doubts, but sure. The only reason I'm just not so hyped for the game is because it is a gacha game. It is a gacha game. And that's pretty much one of the reasons why I'm more skeptical about it, if anything. Oh, yes! Lulu just learned a new overdrive mode. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, frick yes. Please tell me she learned a new overdrive mode. Yes, she did. She finally learned Slayer. Yes, so Slayer, so her overdrive will increase when she defeats an enemy. Much more better than the default one, which is Stoic, when it charges when a character takes damage. Which is, you know, the whole point of the run is to not take damage. But yeah, we finally got the Slayer overdrive onto Lulu. And now we can grind more. Okay. And ambush. Unfortunately, an ambush is an automatic reset because of the water flan. While we have a chance of dodging physical attacks, we have no means of being able to evade magical attacks. Unless we're able to nullify it or absorb the attack, you can't dodge magical attacks in this game. Okay. Nice. Actually, now that we have an overdrive for Lulu, maybe I can actually start prioritizing leveling up Yuna, now thinking about it. Well, maybe for the meantime, I'll actually just continue to grind with Lulu until she gets her overdrive filled, and then maybe I'll switch Yuna in. So once Lulu has her overdrive filled, then I'll switch Yuna in, and then continuously attack with Yuna and hope that Yuna gets a new overdrive. Oh wait, no, get off screen, then go back, there we go. Man, this game really does not want me to use Lulu for whatever reason. Okay, but I can do that, haste her, and then I can have her use fire against the dingo, and then have Waka handle the bird. I mean, sure, I don't get an overkill from that, but at least I'm leveling up Lulu and having her inflict damage. What challenge run are you doing? Looks like no damage. Yep, that's the challenge run, no damage. And right now I just need to grind until Tidus here learns the delay attack ability. So we need to grind 2 sphere levels. So 1, 2. So once we go on to the defense nod, we can activate the delay attack skill. That's all we're doing, is essentially grinding so Tidus can learn the delay attack skill. But while we were also at it, we actually managed to learn Slayer for Lulu, so that's great. So right now we're just filling up Lulu's overdrive until it's full, and then we're going to swap Yuna in. Battle with Yuna more until Yuna maybe gets an overdrive mode before we end the grind. Oh dear god, that sounds so painful. Yeah, the worst part about this run so far is the grind. Thankfully, there is a method of reducing the amount of overgrinding, but I need this delay attack if I want to guarantee that I don't have to grind as much later on. Okay, nice. Okay, and there we go. Lulu's overdrive is full. And she still requires a little over 100 AP to level up, which is fine. So we're going to swap Lulu out for Yuna. And we're going to do some grinding with Yuna, so that way she can hopefully learn an overdrive mode. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a chance that she might actually go before, yeah, crap. I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm gonna haste Waka, so Waka goes first. Kill the bird. Then I'm gonna summon Veil for her. Just had to wait for dialogue to end there. Thunder the Flan. Persona while doing nothing, and this, you might be a bigger masochist than me, and that's saying something. Why, thank you, I think. Because, yeah, as you can see, I've already played this game for 12 hours and 27 minutes, and that's not including the amount of times we've had to reset due to getting hit. And mind you, we're not keeping a counter of how many times we get hit, or otherwise it would already be in the hundreds. Because right here, we're going to get hit, because no matter what, that water flan is going to hit us. We have a chance of dodging physical attacks, but when it comes to magic, you can't dodge magic unless you nullify it or absorb it, which is something that we can get later on in the game. But unfortunately, we have to pretty much make sure that those attacks that are undodgeable never get used, and that we kill off the enemy in time. Or we figure out a way to bypass the ambushes, which requires the first strike ability, which we're not going to be able to activate till much later in the run, or get until much later in the run. Alright. Okay, and this is actually a blessing in disguise for having Yuna in the party, because I can just guard with her, attack. Alright, so there we go. Tidus finally leveled up, and oh god. Oh my freaking god. So we need 400 AP just to freaking level up. 401 AP, and we gotta dedicate ourselves to the grind to get 401 AP to get to the next sphere level. But once I get to the next sphere level with Titus, that's essentially gonna be the end of the grind. So, now we're just gonna keep on going. Okay, gonna haste Waka so he goes first. Kill the bird. Summon Veil for her. Thunder the Flan. Have you played Metaphor ReFantazio? Yep, I've played Metaphor ReFantazio on my own terms. I did it on hard difficulty. There is a harder difficulty than hard difficulty, but it's not available on a first playthrough. But yeah, I played through all of Metaphor ReFantazio on hard difficulty. And yeah, I pretty much did all the possible side quests. I maxed out all the followers, and I pretty much did everything in the game, I think. And shit, I didn't level up Waka there. I should have paid attention, but whatever. But yeah, I played Metaphor ReFantazio, and yeah, that was a really great game. It was a really great game. The only downside is that I can't record the game on my computer for whatever reason. Like, I've tried to record the game on my computer, and for whatever reason, it just won't work. I don't know why it doesn't work, but yeah, I tried recording Metaphor ReFantazio, just wouldn't work. I mean, I might be able to stream it, but the problem is if I stream it, I'm compromising any quality that I could potentially have. But yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio was a really great game. It's a really great game. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't played it, it's definitely worth your time. Actually, okay, I was just checking something. Okay, anyways, let's continue the grind. I played it on normal and ended up at the final boss being like 20 to 25 levels under leveled, so I didn't have a choice but to lower the difficulty to Storyteller to see the ending. Honestly, I actually got through one of the phases of the final boss fight without taking damage. Mind you, that was not intentional. I just know how to use the mechanics, essentially. Pretty much I had, if I remember correctly, I had the main character, Highs made for the dodging, because when you get his ultimate archetype, you can actually... oh, wait, hold on. I need to look at the timeline. When you get his ultimate archetype, you can actually get an ability where if he dodges an enemy attack, then that enemy loses all of its press turns. And then I pretty much had Juna to give everybody an all-party charge. And then I pretty much used, I think it's Basilio is the wolf guy's name, and the main character to essentially just do a strong physical attack against the final boss fight. And my god, it was so satisfying just being severely overpowered. But I was pretty much just making use of the game's mechanics, essentially. I mean, a lot of people say Juna is actually quite a useless, but she's actually really good if you want to have an enemy be weak to a certain element, or if you need her to buff or charge everyone with the physical charge, like do an all-party physical charge. Like, she's actually really great for that. Honestly, I'd say the #1 character that I played the least would actually be what's her name? What's her name? No, I fucking buffed. Okay, that didn't give Waka first turn. Shit. Okay. Veil 4, come in. Yufa, that's her name. Yufa is her name. Honestly, she's... Okay, good. I evaded the attack. Attack the bird. Nice. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't make Waka get first turn there, but whatever. Okay, so I need to make sure that Waka gets first turn when I haste him. And for whatever reason, it doesn't. Which is weird because it was able to... Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing that. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to attack the bird with Titus, which of course doesn't do anything. But hey, as long as I perform an action with Titus, then he will gain experience or AP, which is the whole point of this grind. So just Thunder the Flan. And nope, I have to reset because Veil 4 took damage. I mean, Veil 4 has the highest agility out of all my party members, so if, yeah. I use Juna as an elemental master, spamming Hypered Skyfall Bolt. It's been a while since I played the game, so I kind of forget what that move is, but the move I was essentially using for her was the all-party physical buff, essentially. The all-party charge buff, and pretty much using Basilio and the main protagonist to do a lot of damage. And I pretty much use Stroll for physical damage and buffing, and I use Heismay for buffing and dodging, essentially. Those are practically my go-tos by the end of the game. But yeah, honestly, the two characters that I probably used the least was probably Hulkenberg, because her specialty was just simply just having strong endurance and being a defender. And Yufa, on paper, she's actually really great because she's actually a jack of trades kind of character. But the problem is that other than that, she really has no specialty or reason to use her outside of having a variety of different attacks. Outside of having a variety of different attacks, I just didn't use Yufa as much. Like, she was still a great party member. Again, jack of trades, having access to a lot of the physical moves in the game, and magical moves in the game. Okay, good. Waka can go first. Nice. Use Dark Attack on the Dingo, which kills it anyway. Summon Veil 4. I mean, every single party member in that game is useful, also. But yeah, Stroll I mainly use for physical attacks and buffing. Heismay I used for kind of buffing, but mostly for his high agility and dodging. And then I would use Basilio and the protagonist for their strong physical attacks. And I would use Yufa if I needed, you know, access to, like, elemental attacks, because that's mostly what her specialty is being the jack of trades in that. Okay, this is a bad formation. Actually, since I'm going to be charging my overdrive anyway, maybe I should actually just energy rain them as Titus. Since I'm going to be pretty much filling up my overdrive anyway while leveling up. And the Flan is still alive. The Flan is freaking still alive after that. Wow. But that's okay, I'll just summon Veil 4, and this will actually give some AP onto Yuna. And I get an overkill from that. Nice. But yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio is a really great game. I definitely highly recommend it. It's definitely something I would like to do a video of, but right now, my computer, for whatever reason, just refuses to record the game. It just refuses to record the game for whatever reason, and I don't know why. I went with a magic-based main character, Heismay as the debuffer and dodger, Juna was Elemental Master, and Stroll was set to buffing. That sounds reasonable, yeah. I mean, magic is still handy to have on the protagonist, for sure. It's just by the end of the game, if physical just ended up dominating as the best possible stat that you can have on the protagonist. But yeah, honestly, Hulkenberg, for as useful of a party member as she is, I probably use the least because her specialty is mostly just being an endurable party member that takes on damage, essentially, to protect the party. Oh, dodge. No. Damn it, guys, you're supposed to dodge. So yeah, even if I get ambush attacks, as long as they're physical attackers, I have a chance of dodging. But if it's a magical base attacker like the water flan, then I'm going to get hit no matter what. And unfortunately, I don't have control over those ambush attacks until I get the first strike ability. My problem was being ridiculously underleveled on the point of no return. Well, I mean, you can pretty much grind endlessly within the final dungeon itself. When you're within the final dungeon, you can essentially grind endlessly, and you can get a lot of SP restoratives. And the endgame was essentially the most efficient way to overgrind, essentially. In fact, I pretty much dedicated to overgrinding just so I can max out every single archetype with the protagonist, because that's actually one of the achievements. Haste Waka. Okay, Haste Waka unfortunately does not put him ahead of Yuna, so I'm just going to attack the Dingo. And summon Veilfor to get rid of the Flan. Alright, 3 AP left for Yuna, and okay, we're definitely making progress with Titus. At the very least. Ambush, and because it's a water flan, this is an automatic reset no matter what. I was when I beat the first phase of Lucius. I got trapped in academia at the start of the second phase and couldn't leave. That's where I had to lower the difficulty. Interesting. But yeah, I managed to get through the entire game on hard difficulty from beginning to end. There's definitely moments where I had to do a lot of grinding just so I can make further sections easier or possible, but yeah, okay. It looks like I may potentially get hit here, so I'm gonna... Okay, no, I took out the bird, so I can just summon Veilfor and get rid of the flan. This is pain. Unfortunately, it is. But thankfully, I don't have to grind for so long. I'm just grinding for a little bit just to get Titus up one more sphere level. And while I'm at it, I might as well get Yuna, Waka, and Lulu up sphere levels as well. Alright, nice. And yeah, before I actually get on the SS Leaky, I actually need to make sure that everyone's sphere levels are used, because we're actually going to do an exploit that allows us to essentially overgrind, essentially. And this exploit will allow us to not only overgrind, but actually allow us to pretty much not do as much grinding after we get to... once we get to Kilika. Once we get to Kilika, we pretty much don't have to grind as much. We'll still have to grind and collect items and do things within battles and such. And of course, Titus's overdrive is not full. So I have to kill... wait, no. Frick. Okay, unfortunately I don't double the turns here. Okay, so I'm gonna need to kill the dingo, summon Valefor, and then hope Valefor dodges the condor. Don't worry, pain is good for you. That's true. Pain once in a while can be healthy for anything. And of course I get hit. You know what, on second thought, pain sucks. It sucks that I have to reset because the summons of all things take little damage. But unfortunately, regardless if it's my party members or my summons, damage on any of them is a reset. But yeah, this is definitely one of those challenge runs where it's definitely only possible if you reset to the last save. Doing a permadeath no-hit run is just straight up impossible. And, of course, I get the same enemy formation as before, so I just gotta hope that Valefor dodges the condor. Pain is a double-edged sword, yep. Pain is good for learning. Okay, good. Dodged. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, alert arm guard. Okay, that's good. Let me just check. I think that's Waka, right? Sleep ward, dark ward. What would actually be useful in this case? Well, considering that sleep ward or the alert arm guard has an extra ability slot that I could potentially customize, I'll probably equip the sleep ward. I mean, right now I don't need the Dark Ward or Sleep Ward at the moment because there's no enemies that are inflicting Dark or Sleep on me. But I'll equip the Sleep Ward just because there's probably enemies that might be able to put us to sleep. And since there's an extra empty slot for abilities, I could customize this with something that could be useful later on. Why aren't you switching characters? Like, you could switch to Lulu to take out the Flan to get out of the situation like that. Because I'm mainly grinding Yuna. I'm prioritizing Yuna over Lulu right now. And plus, I already got Lulu's overdrive, the Slayer overdrive, so I mainly want to keep Yuna in my party so that way I can get... her overdrive modes. Because right now she just has her Stoic overdrive mode, which is the default overdrive mode, but the problem is that Stoic essentially means you have to take damage in order to increase your overdrive mode. So I got the Slayer overdrive mode for Lulu, which allows her to increase her overdrive. So right now her overdrive is already full, so I have it set to Slayer, so Slayer allows her overdrive to fill when she defeats an enemy, but Stoic, which is the default overdrive mode, only charges when a character takes damage. So the only way to learn the other overdrive modes is by, you know, killing or attacking enemies a certain amount of times as that character. Since I already got Slayer with Lulu, I want to try to prioritize getting Yuna's overdrive mode eventually, if possible. The only thing is, I don't know if Yuna's overdrive modes can be learned through her summons alone. If her summons are actually preventing her from learning the other overdrive modes, I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm essentially keeping Yuna in my party, because I want her to potentially learn a new overdrive mode so I can increase her overdrive. But the blessing in disguise with Yuna is that the purpose of her overdrive is that when she summons a... well... miss. Ah, damn it, Waka, you should have dodged. Is that when Yuna summons a summon with her overdrive, it essentially automatically makes that summon, that Aeon, have their overdrive filled. But the Aeons themselves can fill their overdrives independently, and thankfully they fill either by taking damage or doing damage. So the only reason that Valefor is able to have a full overdrive to begin with is because I can attack with Valefor to increase the overdrive. So even though Yuna's overdrive would be nice to have, it's not an absolute priority. It would just be nice to have that, so that way I can use the overdrive to have a summon automatically have their overdrive filled. You can't really use Stoic, Ally, Daredevil, or Sufferer if I remember right, because those require damage. Yeah, pretty much. In fact, I think I actually do have the Ally overdrive on Riku and Titus. Because, yeah, so Ally, so charges on character... No, actually, this charges on a character's turn, so that doesn't revolve around taking damage. But yeah, Slayer is only when a character defeats an enemy, Victor is when the party wins a battle, and Warrior is when a character damages an enemy. I want it set on Warrior because, well, I think the reason is pretty obvious. But yeah, right now we're just grinding with Yuna because I want her to be able to learn her next overdrive if and when possible. And okay, let me see if I can actually make Waka go next, which I can, so I'm gonna haste Waka. Now use Dark Attack on the Dingo, and then summon Veilfur to get rid of the Flan. I don't remember which one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that charges when an ally takes damage. Yeah, there is a specific mode for that. In fact, that's actually a mode that you definitely want to have when you want to grind against the Tonberry at the Monster Arena. It's essentially a method where you can essentially grind like 99 sphere levels with every single character by having a character take damage from the Tonberry while everyone else gains AP from that said character taking damage. Okay, I don't have the overdrive mode on Titus yet, so I'm going to take out the Dingo. Summon Veilfur. So yeah, using a Dark Attack on the Flan is not going to mean anything because the Dark Attack only affects the physical accuracy of, well, physical damage, not magical damage. Okay, good. Veilfur dodged. And yeah, the upside with us doing all this grinding is that the more battles we do, the stronger our Aeons get. I'm aware that's what I thought Ally was. Nah, it's alright. Simple mistake is a simple mistake. But yeah, right now, Veilfur is extremely overpowered. Like, look at her stats. Like, 45 strength, 64 magic, 42 evasion, 20 accuracy, 17 luck, and 34 agility. If you're wondering how the heck she even has all of this stuff, that's because there's actually two ways to increase an Aeon's stats. One is leveling up Yuna, and her stats will increase the stats of the Aeons, but the other method is the amount of battles you do. And because we've been over grinding for hours, doing hundreds and hundreds of battles, this is essentially making the Aeons more powerful than they should be at this point of the game. Okay, so even though she dodged, I have to reset because Water Flan means automatic reset. Unfortunately, you cannot dodge magic attacks in this game. You can dodge physical attacks, just not magic attacks. Unit stats and the number of battle. Yeah, pretty much the number of battles, unit stats, and there is a third way of leveling up the Aeon stats, but that's not going to be available after we complete a side quest in the Calmlands, which is way later in the game. So the method of being able to manually increase a specific stat of an Aeon is not going to be available until way later in the game when we get to the Calmlands. And by the time we get to that point in the game, we should have Bahamut with us, so we should have all 5 of the mandatory Aeons with us. Okay, good dodging. Yeah, I don't know if Veilfur has higher agility than Lulu right now, but yeah, I definitely want that agility to come into play. You're talking about the one where you can trade items for stats? Yeah, where you could essentially use items or... sorry, I'm mumbling. Okay, so this is my last use of haste, so I may need to... Okay, this doesn't make Waka go next. Shoot. Okay, so Waka doesn't gain any AP from this battle, so sorry, Waka. Yes, suck. Actually, I may need to increase my AP anyway, considering that I'm going to be running out of magic soon with Veilfer. But yeah, there's 3 ways to essentially increase an Aeon stats. So the number of battles you do, which means you can do that with literally any character. Even if you flee from a battle, that still counts as the amount of battles you do. And it's also based off of Yuna stats, so the more we level up Yuna, the stronger her Aeons will be. Okay, no, haste does not make Waka go before Yuna, so take out the Dingo, summon. Do you think you should go back to the save sphere for more MP? I will eventually. I'm just not doing it unless I absolutely need the MP back. Because right now I'm just relying on the autosave. I'm relying on the autosave when I go off screen and back in screen. So every single time you see the little chocobo running in the corner, that means an autosave is happening. So when I take damage and close down the game, I can just load back an autosave without having to go to a save sphere. And once again, Waka is not going next. Come on. Okay, take out the Dingo and summon Veilfer. But yeah, I will eventually go back to the save sphere to regenerate MP, eventually. It's just right now not a priority. I'll definitely need it once either A, I use my last haste onto Waka and I have 0 MP on Titus, or when Veilfer starts to run out of MP and I gotta regenerate that MP back. Ambush. Yes, 2 dodges. Nice. Oh, that's like probably one of the first ambush attacks we ever got in the game where we actually dodge every single attack. Freaking nice. So yeah, even if we get ambushed, as long as we can dodge all physical attacks, then the run is still valid. But the problem is that if we get a magic attacking user within that ambush attack, like the water flan, it's going to be a reset no matter what. Alright, getting close to leveling up Yuna and Waka. Uh-oh. Okay, get rid of the Dingo. Actually, I could probably just use Titus's overdrive here, but whatever. I'll summon Veilfer, get rid of the flan, and hope for a dodge. I have this on the Switch, and the Switch doesn't have the features like some of this, like that for some strange reason. The autosave feature, or the feature to speed up the game. Because yeah, the feature to speed up the game and do auto battles is something that is exclusive, I guess, to PC. And nope, took damage. Because yeah, if you use the, I think it's F4 button, you can have it auto battle, so you can have the auto battle on. Problem is that it doesn't work in every single battle in the game. It only works in some battles of the game. In fact, the big grind that I'm talking about on the SS Leaky that'll allow us to exploit the game to get us like 99 sphere levels, we cannot use the auto feature during that fight. In fact, the only way to have the characters manually attack is to use a turbo controller. In fact, I specifically recently bought a turbo controller for this game. I'm actually just holding the turbo controller right now. I'm not using it right now, but I have a controller that has a turbo function, and essentially the turbo function allows infinite button presses of the same button. So I essentially want the game to infinitely press the A button so it can attack the Sin Scales when we're fighting up against Sin's Fin. When we do that, we can essentially kill so many of the Sin Scales while having the game at 4 times the speed. And what this will do is essentially with every Sin skin we kill, we either gain 2 AP or 3 AP with every overkill. And as long as we keep doing that with everyone haste and 3 cheers applied, we can essentially... damn Damn it. Okay. Therefore, we can essentially overgrind. The problem is that it's going to take hours, like probably like more than half a day of grinding, even with the 4-speed up. So we essentially are going to have the game play itself, essentially. Damn it, Valefor. You're supposed to dodge, birdie. Bad bird. Are you talking about the thing where you infinitely kill sin spawns while fighting the fins for infinite AP? Yeah, exactly that. That's the exploit that I want to use. I essentially need to learn the delay attack so I can make the boss fight that comes after the boat possible. Because I have the squid that is underwater to fight with Waka and Titus. The problem is, I can pretty much do the fight damage list, but it uses the blender attack for its third attack, and the blender attack is completely undodgeable. And the problem is, I do just enough hits where one hit after its blender attack is enough to kill it. So if I learn the delay attack on Titus, essentially I can delay its turn for as long as I can. Okay, so I'm going to use Titus's overdrive here, so here we go. And I'm going to use a turbo controller with the 4 speed up that is exclusive to the PC version to essentially overlevel so we can get as close to 99 sphere levels, if not 99 sphere levels.
Leave that one to Lou.
Leave that to Lulu? Come on. No, I'm going to leave this to Valefor, not Lulu. Loses to the boss right after the grind would be devastating. Exactly. This is why we're doing this grinding, so we can get the delay attack ability onto Titus to assure that we can actually kill that squid boss right after the sin scales, essentially. Because once we defeat those enemies and defeat the squid, we have those 99 sphere levels, if I can actually grind to the 99 sphere levels. I don't know how long it's going to take us exactly, but essentially I'm going to use a turbo controller to rapidly press the A button so I can have Titus, Waka, and Kimahri kill the sin scales in one hit. And then I'm going to essentially just leave the game playing itself for hours, essentially. I killed the birdie.
This is gonna take a while.
Okay, so I'm going to swap Titus out with Lulu. Have Lulu guard so she still gains AP. Guard. And then summon Valefor to finish. Actually, I probably could have used I already used Yuna. I probably could have just used Lulu and finished it off. Whatever. So much for efficiency. You know what? I guess while I'm at it, I might as well go to a save sphere to regenerate MP. Once you get to Kilika after that, then you can cash in on all the levels. That's the plan. That's the plan, is to cash in on all those levels, essentially. But even after grinding like 99 sphere levels from the Sin Scale fights, that's not going to mean that I'm going to be overpowered for the rest of the run itself. It means I'll be overpowered for a casual playthrough, but for a damageless run, I sadly still won't be. Because for one, even if I get like 99 sphere levels, I can still only carry up to 99 ability, power, speed, and mana spheres. So I'll still have like levels to use. And even then, I need to be careful with how I level up these characters. Like, it's going to be pretty much straightforward. Get Hastiga with Titus. Get, like, the strongest spells and evasion nodes with Lulu. Get further down Yuna's grid to overpower the Aeons. Get all this stuff with Waka. But when it comes to Kimahri, I have to be more selective with what I choose, because there is a possible detriment when it comes to overpowering Kimahri, because there's a solo boss fight with him against two characters, and their stats pretty much scale with whatever you have Kimahri stats at. Pretty much to ensure that you're not overpowered for them, but not underleveled for them when you reach them. essentially the stronger your strength and magic is, the higher their HP will be, and the higher your HP and MP are, the higher their attacks will be. So essentially, we only want to increase Kimahri's MP, and then figure out how to defeat them damage-less. And shit, I just realized I fucked this up. I actually fucked this up. Okay. Or did I fuck this up? No, I didn't fuck this up. Yeah, I just switched Yuna out for Titus. Okay. I was freaking out for no reason. Okay, so now I just need to regain that overdrive back while leveling up Titus. And yeah, because I'm using the overdrive, not only am I guaranteeing those overkills, but I'm also making sure that with the amount of overdrives that I do, the sooner I learn Blitz Ace. Because the more overdrives that you use on Titus, the sooner you can learn his next one. And I've already learned 3 of Titus's overdrives, Energy Rain and Slice and Dice, which I pretty much learned while grinding on the boat with Riku. But the third overdrive requires like 80 sphere levels, or no, what am I talking about? 80 overdrives in order to learn Blitz Ace, which is Titus's last overdrive mode. So using the overdrive while doing the grinding is not a bad idea, because that's actually beneficial for me. Okay, can I haste Waka? And no, I can't. I mean, I can haste Waka, it's just I can't make him act first before, or after. I can't make him act first before Yuna. Because if I can make him act first before Yuna, then I can have him gain some AP. Okay, Yuna's close to the next level, and same thing with Waka. Same thing with Waka. Nice. Do you think it would be a good idea to run Yuna through Lulu's Sphere Grid, or use Black Magic Sphere to get her Flare? Because Yuna's magic stat is higher than Lulu's. Yeah, I definitely plan to do that eventually. Once I get through Yuna's Sphere Grid, I'll try to get Yuna into Lulu's Sphere Grid, so that way she can gain not only Black Magic, but even more magic nodes, as well as higher evasion. So that way I can make Yuna a reliable Black Mage and not just a Summoner. Because I'm essentially not using her for her White Mage abilities outside of maybe curing the ailments. Like, outside of maybe curing ailments, I'm not using Yuna whatsoever for healing. So there we go. Leveled up Yuna. Or got her a sphere level. Technically, they're not leveling up. They're just gaining a sphere level. And a sphere level means you can just move along the sphere grid. That's literally all it is. Okay. Now, let's get Waka up another level. And then prioritize getting Titus up another level. Okay, can I haste Waka? No, I can't. Attack the dingo. Summon Veilfor to get rid of the Flan. Getting Yuna double cast would be massive. Oh, absolutely. It would absolutely be massive for sure. Because yeah, if I can rely on Yuna being able to use Black Magic without having to use summons, then that would actually be very beneficial. I mean, yeah, using summons will be beneficial, but that means there's a good chance that the enemy may attack next. But if I have Yuna attacking while also having 2 other party members also being able to attack. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack with her, attack with him. They're just giving the dialogue of, hey, maybe we should stop being a dumbass and let Lulu take care of this, which we will let Lulu take care of this. We essentially just did that just so we can make sure all 4 did something in that battle. So, okay, Yuna actually needs a lot more AP than Titus to level up, so maybe I should actually have Lulu level up more. Maybe I should have Lulu level up more just so she's leveling up. I mean, Yuna served me well, but being able to use black magic anytime without summoning would probably be more beneficial. And plus, Lulu requires less AP to level up compared to the amount that Titus needs. And yeah, Yuna needs a little bit more AP to level up, and I pretty much want to immediately end the grind when No! I fucked this up. I fucked this up and attacked the Flan, you fucking idiot. Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that. Because I immediately want to end the grind once I get the delay attack ability. I don't want to grind a few extra levels just to get Yuna up one level. So since Lulu requires less AP to level up before Titus, I'll get Lulu up one level because of the more I use their sphere levels, or the more sphere levels I can get now, then the more I can potentially save once I eventually get 99 sphere levels with them against the Sin Scale grind. But I'm also going to do an off-screen test to make sure that I can kill the squid damageless with delay attack. Damn it. Okay, good. So I'm going to haste Lulu. I want to make sure she's getting MP as well. Okay, attack the bird. And then fire against the dingo. And there we go. Waka leveled up. Okay, technically Waka needs more AP, so I'll probably prioritize leveling up Waka more, even though I'm not going to get him up another level. Alright, move along here. So I pretty much want to make sure that everyone uses their sphere levels before we do the Sin Scale grind. So I'm definitely not going to level up Waka another level, because pretty much once Titus levels up, then that's pretty much all the grinding I need to do. So right now it's just getting Lulu and Titus up one level and making sure that Titus's overdrive is full by the end of the grind. But yeah, thank God for the use of autosaves, because it definitely helps speed up the grinding. Unfortunately, it was very useless for the ship, because there was just no autosaves between when you board the ship and unboard it, unfortunately. Like I say, we're going to haste Lulu, have Lulu kill the dingo, and Waka take down the condor. Because, yeah, if we can level up Lulu before Titus levels up, then that'll be far more efficient. Thunder. Thunder, rain, lightning. Danger, water rising. That's all I can think about when I hear the word thunder. It's such a bad sign. Shadows, dark creatures scream out, people running in the air, probably getting the lyrics wrong. What's gonna happen to us? Can't get the lyrics right, but who cares, because this song rocks to sing. Alright, at least we're getting overkills with Lulu, which is great, because that means more AP for us. Oh yeah, I remember the main reason I wanted to mainly use the main reason why I mainly wanted to use Lulu, or not Lulu, Yuna during the grind was so I can get her overdrive mode. But the main reason I'm using Lulu right now is so I can get her up one sphere level before Titus gets his sphere level, so I can learn delay attack. So I think once Lulu levels up, then I'm going to switch back to Yuna and just level up with Yuna more, so that way I can increase the numbers for her to learn her next overdrive mode. And yeah, even if I get a physical dodge there, can't dodge that water attack no matter what. So yeah, just gonna grind with Lulu so I can increase her by one sphere level, and then once Lulu gets one sphere level, I'm gonna switch back to Yuna, not to level her up, but just to have her attack, so I can get the sphere level, or not the sphere level, the overdrive mode as soon as possible. Yeah, I can't speak English right now. I can't speak. Okay, I'm gonna haste Lulu. Okay, so haste Lulu. Have Waka take down the Condor, and Lulu take down the Dingo. Da 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 ba 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 ba. Make sure I attack the Condor and not the Flan. Okay. And Lulu still has over 100, or exactly 100 MP left, so I'm fine on the grind. Okay, less than 100 AP left for Titus, and then we can finally finish off this grind. So once Titus levels up, and also make sure his overdrive is full by the end of the grind, that's the end of the grinding. And yeah, hopefully we can actually learn a new overdrive mode for Lulu before she levels up. Thankfully, we already got Slayer, but right now the main priority is just to get her up one level. Then we'll switch back to Yuna, grind the rest of Titus's levels with Yuna, in the hopes that Yuna gets a new overdrive mode. Nice, Titus. Titus killed the bird without Waka. Okay, this is a preemptive strike, so get rid of you, guard with you, and shit, I was hoping to get, okay, I can attack you with fire, so I'm gonna swap you out with Yuna, guard with Yuna, and then attack with fire. Which gets an overkill, which is pretty good. There we go. So everyone gets AP. Okay, 69 AP left for Titus. Nice. Okay, switch Yuna back out for Waka. Because, yeah, if I can find opportunities to level all 4 characters up, or multiple characters up, then I definitely want to take that opportunity and not just level up the 3 that I currently have in the party. Okay, guard. Black magic against the Flan. Do you think getting Yuna the Loner Overdrive mode will help during the summon battles? It's possible. It's possible, but I just don't know how we can utilize that efficiently. I mean, I'm aware of the Loner Overdrive mode, but it's definitely an overdrive mode that I definitely don't utilize in this game, even in a casual playthrough. Okay, so Titus's overdrive is full, so I want to keep it full. Even though I can use Titus's overdrive mode, I pretty much want to keep it full for the rest of the grind. I mean, I don't know how many kills it requires for Yuna to get the Loner Overdrive mode, but if it takes a long time, then it's not something that I want to rely on. If I can get, like, you know, Warrior or whatever onto Yuna, that would be more efficient. I just don't know if Yuna can actually get those modes if she is not attacking and it's just her Aeons attacking. I don't know how it works exactly, if her Aeons attacking counts towards her getting overdrive modes or not. Mind you, this is my third playthrough of Final Fantasy X, so I'm going off of the knowledge of what I see off of YouTube videos or online and such, and what I researched, you know, for this run before doing this run. Okay, 2 more AP left, and then once Lulu levels up, we're gonna switch Yuna back in. Okay, kill the Dingo, guard with Waka, and one last Thunder on the Flan. And now we're gonna switch back to Yuna. There we go, leveled up, so she needs 205 AP to level up. Okay, sweet. So I'm just gonna go to the save sphere just so I can regenerate MP, but also just have a change of pace on music. So there we go. Down. And unfortunately she can't increase any stats. I mean, we technically can increase our defense, it's just useless for this run. I mean, grind an extra sphere level to get an extra evasion. Yeah, let's not be greedy. Let's not be greedy. We can save it for later. So now that Lulu's leveled up, we're gonna switch her out with Yuna. There we go. Loner doesn't require attacks, it just requires being alone in battle. But what's the condition for getting the Loner? Like, what does it require, you know, number-wise? Does it require, like, the amount of turns you get? Or requires the amount of attacks you get? The amount of damage you get? Like, what is it required in order to get the Loner? Ooh, nice! Guard with you, and... Actually, this is not entirely bad. This is not entirely bad. Just swap you out with Lulu and then just attack with the Flan. Although, I probably should be attacking with Yuna because the whole point of me grinding with her again is so I can actually get her overdrive mode. So what am I doing? Whatever. At least everyone got AP out of that. It's just, it's going to be useless for everyone getting an AP out of that if my intent is to get everyone 99 sphere levels with the Sin Scale grind. Okay. Summon Vilfor. It's the number of turns. Interesting. Problem is, I just don't know how to utilize that efficiently for a run like this without getting hit. Okay, so once Titus levels up, that's the end of the grind. It doesn't matter if we can, you know, maybe get an extra sphere so Waka or whoever can get to the next level. I mean, what is Waka's next level? Yeah, I gotta get like 3 sphere levels in order to get the next useful node for him, so it really doesn't matter if we level him up. Our main priority is just to get Titus leveled up by 1. And then have Yuna attack with her Aeons, so that way she can hopefully learn her next overdrive mode as soon as possible. And plus, with her attacking with Vilfor, I am guaranteeing the overkills. Okay, so 1 or 2 more battles, and I should have delay attack with Titus. Alright, overkill. Let's do this, girls. Overkill. So overkill means we gain more AP, essentially. And, okay. We did it. That's all we need to do. So the next sphere level is 441. So that should give you an idea of just how much grinding we've been doing with Titus. A ridiculous amount. But there we go. That's the end of the grind, guys. That is officially the end of the grind. That's all the grinding we're going to do. I could grind more till Yuna gets an overdrive mode, but right now that's not a priority. That's not a priority right now. So there we go. Titus's overdrive is full. Lulu's overdrive is full. Waka's overdrive is full. And unfortunately, Yuna cannot fill her overdrive because she's still stuck with the stoic overdrive mode. So let's just get Titus. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to record this. So there we go. Ability. Delay attack. There we go. We finally got the delay attack ability. I'm hoping this is going to give us the edge for what we need for the Sin Scale fight. In the meantime, I might as well show what I have in mind. What I have in mind for the grind. So I'm just going to save on every single backup save here. Alright. I might as well show what I have in mind for the grind. I mean, I'm probably not going to be saving after this, but I'll just show what I have in mind exactly. So first we need to talk to all these characters because some of them will actually give us items. So this guy will give us an ether. This guy will give us a Seeker's Reign. I don't think the Seeker's Reign is going to be useful. Yeah, just an extra HP. Definitely not useful. The only thing that's useful is the Dark Ward. I won't cry, I won't cry. They're really leaving. Here's a farewell gift. Okay, 400 gil. That will definitely be useful. Oh, I could still move, apparently. I could actually still move in this cutscene. Do me, daddy. Do me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just recorded a clip of me getting the skill. I'll record again once I get to the battle, essentially. The only reason I just need to record parts of the footage is because when I do stream footage, the quality gets severely sacrificed. But yeah, I might as well just show at least what I have in mind, because I already recorded all of this stuff myself when I was testing the Sin Scale fight, so I can have this stuff recorded for like the video when I edit it later. And yeah, unfortunately, you cannot skip cutscenes in this game. You cannot skip cutscenes in this game whatsoever, unfortunately. You can skip the CGI cutscenes, but the in-game cutscenes you cannot skip. So I'll talk to Lulu.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. If you interfere with Yuna's pilgrimage, we won't take it lightly.
Okay, you gonna zap me with your Thundergra or something?
Come to think of it, I haven't told you where we're going. First to Kilika Island. Then we change boats and head for Luca. For that though, Yuna's gotta pray at the temple. I'll be guarding. We'll be praying for the Aurochs' victory too, so you come along, yeah?
Great plan.
All right, you have a good night, man. It's 302. Thank you for watching the stream and engaging and talking about strategy and such.
We'll be praying for the Aurochs' victory too, so you come along, yeah?
Nothing we can do about that. Furry bait does not want to talk.
Word is that summoner's got noble blood. I heard she's Lord Braska's daughter. You don't say.
Lord Braska's daughter?
Alright. In the meantime, we're just going to explore the ship a bit. So here's the captain's area. So there's actually a item that you can pick up here much later in the game, which has to do with Jet. It's like one of Jet's spears or whatever, or spheres that you can pick up here, but you can't get that till much, much later. And I'm pretty sure there's like nothing up here. Yeah, there's nothing up here. So we're just going to explore inside the ship down below.
Oh, them's fascinating clothes you're wearing. Yeah! Filthy, filthy. These won't sell. All me name's not a waka. Don't look like you got much money, either. I've no business with you. Out of me way.
Who do you think you are?
Awaka the 23rd, merchant extraordinaire.
Awaka the who?
Don't know me? Well, not many do. Not yet.
Alright. So how you doing,
But
Awaka?
someday, the name Awaka will be spoken all over Spira. Say, lad, you wouldn't have a bit of gil to lend?
I suppose I do. There you go. Give you 200, 2,000.
Fine seed money. Much
So,
obliged.
Unfortunately, we can't really give him anything yet, but I think it's beneficial to lend him some money. Power room.
What the heck is that?
What the heck is what?
What is this place?
The power room, like it says on the door?
Yeah, but why the big birds?
What's so strange about chocobo power?
Chocobos? Those are chocobos?
What? You've never seen a chocobo? What kind of backwater island did you come from, anyway?
Chocobos are adorable. They're essentially the horses of this game.
Miracles and oddities were starting to become daily routine on this trip.
Alright, and I think there's a little thing right here. So an LBAT primer, yep. So L equals C. So you can make them make strange noises when you talk to them. They're so adorable. His parents should have gotten a baby named Bug. Who the hell keeps the same name and just adds a running number count? What? What do you mean? Are you talking about how he doesn't know what a chocobo is? Well, I think he just doesn't know what a chocobo is because he's been on Xanarkin for his entire life. And, well, if you know the story, you know the story. Okay, we got a remedy here. Boda is sick. And then we got to kick the suitcase a few times to get some potions. Yeah, so only 3 times, and then that's it. So that's pretty much it. So kick a suitcase 3 times, open up a chest. I was talking about Owaka the 23rd. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not at liberty to talk about our plan.
Restricted area. All right.
Alright, so this is pretty much where we need to save. So we save. Now, I'm not actually going to continue on after this, but I'm going to demonstrate what I have in mind for the overgrinding. Just so you guys are on board, because this is something that I'm going to record and not stream.
So, is Yuna's father famous or something?
She's the daughter of High Summoner Braska. You saw his statue at the temple. Lord Braska defeated Sin 10 years ago. Yuna's the heir to a great legacy.
It's tough when your father's famous.
Huh?
Waka's a bit lacking in the imagination department.
Huh?
Thanks, Lulu. I'll keep that in mind.
Alright, so now that it's all done, we talk to Yuna now. And this is like a long cutscene before we're able to fight the next boss fight here. Ugh. I might as well finish up my coffee so I don't stay up too late.
The wind. It's nice.
Is the coffee decaf? No, I can't have decaf coffee. I must have caffeinated coffee. I'm having caffeinated coffee just so I can stay awake, essentially, for my grinds.
You're a blitzball player, aren't you? From Xanarkin, right?
Just don't want to stay awake for too long because I might potentially go hang out with a friend tomorrow.
Waka. Waka doesn't believe me at all.
But I believe you.
Huh?
I've heard in Xanarkin there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
Huh?
Great blitzball tournaments are held there, and the stands are always full.
How do you know that?
A man named Jack told me. He was my father's guardian.
Checked. My father.
Ject.
His name is Jekt.
Amazing! You know, our meeting like this must be the blessing of Yevon.
Quite the opposite.
Sounds like him, but it can't be him.
Why not?
My old man, he died 10 years ago, off the coast of Xanarkin.
I'm sorry.
He went out to sea for training one day, and never came back. And no one's seen him since then.
Why, that's the day that Jack came to Spira.
But
Blessing of Yevon, more like the curse of Sid.
I first
Hey,
met
spoilers,
Jack 10
man.
years and 3 months ago. I remember that was the day my father left. The date fits, doesn't it?
yeah, but how would he get here?
You're here. Are you not?
Touche. And yeah, we're going to be jumping back and forth between in-game cutscenes and CGI cutscenes. So now it's a CGI cutscene. So these are skippable. So as you can see, there's a skip button in the bottom right corner. So I can skip these kind of cutscenes, but I can't skip in-game cutscenes. And yeah, it's definitely very distracting whenever when it obviously goes between in-game cutscenes to CGI cutscenes. But yeah, CGI cutscenes can be skipped, but in-game cutscenes cannot be skipped. I got 3 messages in 5 minutes saying my package didn't fit in my mailbox from different numbers. Seems like scammers to me. Sounds like it, yeah. I mean, if you didn't get a package to begin with, then yeah, it's probably a scam. And even if you did get a package, yeah, it doesn't fit in your mailbox. Yeah, if that was the case, then the post office would be getting you a mail directly, not contacting you like that. So it's definitely a scam. Those messages are definitely a scam. For a game that was originally on the PlayStation 2, this game was ahead of its time. Oh yeah, this game was really ahead of its time. Even its story is like so good, honestly. A good talk of like grief, despair, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's a really good game. It's a really good game. Really great PlayStation 2 game. And even though I'm playing this on the HD remaster, this is still a really solid game to play overall. I definitely highly recommend Final Fantasy X for anyone who hasn't played it yet. I'm at home. If a package come in, they just ring a bell. Exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't be messaging you like that. Anything that pretty much tells you, hey, the package blah 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 blah, or you got to pay this much before a set time. It's obviously a scam. It's obviously a scam. So even though I may get hit here, I'm just going to demonstrate what my plan is for this. So as you can see, essentially we have no choice but to start this battle with Titus, Yuna, and Kimahri, and this is our first time ever using Kimahri. We've never been able to grind with him or level him up. And because of that, that's actually a detriment because Kimahri won't do enough damage to kill the Sin Scales. So the Sin Scales all have 200 HP each. So what we need to do is haste Titus. We need to haste Titus so that way he gets more turns than usual. Then we're going to swap Yuna out for Wakka. And what we need to do is Dark Attack one of the Sin Scales. Or instantly kill them, that works too. Okay, there's really not much we can do for Kimahri other than just leech off of them. Okay, because they're going to attack next, I'm actually going to use Slice and Dice on them with Titus. But this is okay, because as long as I have Titus on Slayer or Warrior, then he will regenerate his overdrive. I essentially don't want these Sins to have a turn to attack while I'm hasting everyone.
How many of these things are there?
The fin! Attack the fin!
Fighting at a distance. Yep, okay. Okay, but we have a problem, though. We have a problem, and the problem is that we may not actually be able to... Oh! Nice critical, Kimahri. Nice freaking critical. Oh my god, you're awesome. Okay. So this is the hardest part, is being able to get a dodge in. So we gotta figure out, is it more efficient to just finish the Sin Scale off, or take a turn to haste? Because we need to essentially find an opportunity to haste everyone, essentially. Okay, unfortunately, hasting them doesn't seem to give them a turn before the Sin Scale. So we essentially need to hope for a dodge, or hope that the Sin Scale flickers its wings. If it flickers its wings, then it won't get a turn. So I'm going to haste Wakka. Okay, its wings flicker, which means it will not get a turn. This is good. This is good. Oh no, I did the 4-hour grinding and now I'm one-shot the mini-boss moment. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. So now that we're at this point, we need to guard with Wakka. And now we need to haste Kimahri. So now we have all three of them hasted. We have all three of them hasted, but this is not enough. This is unfortunately not going to be enough, so we're going to guard. Attack with Kimahri. Attack with Waka again. I'm essentially showing the strategy of this grind. But this is not going to count. So far I have not taken damage, and that's what I want. Essentially what you need to do is attack the Sin Scales or attack the Fin, but the only way to attack the Fin is to use magic or Waka's Ball. But thankfully we can use Yuna's Valefor's Overdrive to instantly kill the Fin, no problem. Now that everyone is hasted, so as you can see in the bottom right corner, it says haste for all 3 of them. Now that everyone is hasted, we need to use Special and Cheer. So Cheer thankfully does not cost any MP. So the whole point of Cheer is that it raises our attack and defense by 10%. And this can stack, this can actually stack a total of 5 times. And essentially we want 5 Cheers so we can guarantee that Kimahri instantly kills the Sin Scales. Okay, so now we're going to use Cheer again. And thankfully, the Sin Scales have an evasion rate of 0, which means they will never get a turn. They will never dodge the attacks. They will never dodge the attacks because they have a an evasion rate of 0. So now that so now they're kind of locked in a point where we should be able to insta-kill them with Waka and Titus, but we're going to keep on using the Cheer for now. Wait. Okay, no, there's only, okay, so we're gonna use Cheer again. Okay, I wasn't keeping count. This is either my 4th or 5th Cheer. But yeah, now Kimahri should be able to kill the enemies no problem. So I'm gonna use Cheer one more time to ensure that I have 5 Cheers, essentially. And yeah, when Sin gets a turn on the timeline, he thankfully just moves around. He doesn't actually attack or anything, so that's totally fine if he moves around. So now we're going to Cheer one more time, and now we should have 5 stacks of Cheers, which means we should be able to do 50% more damage. And now, this is the grind. We're going to speed it up and just rapidly press the A button. Waka and Titus are thankfully able to get overkills. And an overkill essentially means we gain 3 AP with every Sin Scale killed. Whereas if we don't get an overkill, we get 2 AP. So we either get 2 AP or 3 AP with every Sin Scale killed. And this is essentially the grind for a long while. And not only do we want to do this until Titus's Overdrive is filled and potentially getting Overdrive modes onto Kimahri, but essentially we want to do this for a long time. We want to do this for essentially like maybe 13 plus hours straight while having the 4 times speed. But there's a second problem. Auto battle disabled. So as you can see in the bottom left corner, I cannot use auto battle whatsoever. I cannot use auto battle, and that's because there's some battles where you just cannot do it, and this battle would be so useful if I could auto battle, but unfortunately I cannot do that. But if I just rapidly press the A button, then I'm just killing the Sin Scales without killing Sin itself. The only problem with doing that is that if I do that, obviously I have to sit here and just rapidly press the A button for hours, and obviously that's just not going to be fun at all. But yeah, essentially we can grind infinitely. However, before we continue the grind, we're going to swap Kimahri out for Lulu, and we're going to actually have Lulu attack. So we're going to have Lulu attack the Fin, and then continue killing off the Fins. So right now Lulu is not hasted, but once it's eventually her turn, we're going to switch her out for Kimahri, and the reason why we want Lulu to attack once is because we need everyone to participate in battle in order to gain the AP that we need. Okay, so now that it's Lulu's turn, we're going to switch back to Kamari and then just keep attacking. And because Kamari already has the cheer boost and the haste up, then he'll still be able to instantly kill the scales. So now that Lulu has attacked, we essentially just keep grinding for hours and hours and hours straight just doing this. Now you might be thinking, well, this is going to be repetitive. This is going to be super repetitive, mashing the A button for hours straight, so how can I make this less repetitive? And how I can make this less repetitive is that I use something called a turbo controller. This is something that I specifically bought, and essentially what a turbo controller does is that you can tell the controller to infinitely input a certain button press for a long time. So essentially I can tell this turbo controller, hey, infinitely press the A button, for forever, essentially. And essentially the turbo controller will just rapidly press the A button, which selects attack and selects the sin scales. And I can just leave the turbo controller on doing this at 4 times speed and essentially just leave the game on for like 12 plus hours straight. So this is essentially how we're going to overgrind till we get, hopefully, 99 sphere levels. If we can do that, this will severely reduce the amount of grinding that we have to do later on, overpower ourselves so we can essentially get past the boss fights without having to grind so much. With that said, even getting 99 sphere levels is not necessarily over-leveling as you might think, because the reality is that there is no such thing as a max level. You can only carry up to 99 sphere levels, but you need like hundreds, if not thousands of sphere levels in order to max out an entire sphere grid. And even then, we don't have the ability to max out the sphere grid because we don't have spheres that allows the empty sphere nodes to essentially become usable sphere nodes, essentially. So even with all this doesn't actually help all that much, as you might think. But yeah, as you can see, I can just rapidly press the A button, and the sin scales will never get a turn. And that's because with everyone hasted and 5 cheers applied, we can insta-kill the sins, we can get almost guaranteed overdrives with Waka and Titus, so we can gain 3 AP from that sin spawn, or from that sin scale instead of 2. And this is essentially the grind for a long while. Mind you, this is not going to be the actual grind itself. I'm going to do this off screen. I'm just demonstrating to you guys how we're going to essentially go about this. So now that I demonstrated to you how we're going to go about this, we're going to swap Kimahri out with Yuna. And mind you, if we do hours and hours of this, we can essentially hopefully get Kimahri's overdrive modes doing it this way. So it's a bit like SMT Nocturne, where you can level up after level 99, so it's not shown anymore. Not necessarily, because in Nocturne there was a max level of 255, but in this game, yes, you can get to 99 sphere levels and can get more after that. However, the whole point of getting sphere levels is so you can move around on the sphere grid. And the sphere grid lasts infinitely, which means you can infinitely get sphere levels for a long time. Alright, so yeah. And essentially, once we're ready to end the fight, we essentially use Yuna. Oh! No, wait, I fucked this up. I just realized I should have used an ether on Titus. Ah, fuck, I fucked this up. I need to use an ether on Titus so that way he has more MP for the next boss fight. Because even after we do this grinding, we immediately get thrust into a boss fight with no save in between. But yeah, I actually fucked this up. Damn it. Essentially, we need to recover Titus's MP with an ether, because in the next fight, we need to guarantee that Titus is able to use delay attack and haste in the next fight, but we need MP in order to do that. So I kind of fucked this up. And while I'm at it, I'm actually gonna record my footage here. But I'm just going to see if I can actually kill the next boss fight, even though I forgot to use an ether. But yeah, that's one of the things we need to remember, is to use an ether before we get to the next fight. And that's the one thing I forgot to do. Had I been smart, I would have used an ether. But yeah, the reason why we got the delay attack ability is for this specific boss fight alone. No, don't let us kill dolphins. Oh, thank God we don't have to kill dolphins. We just got to kill this squid sin spawn. But yeah, even after we do 12 or so hours of grinding, we have to get this boss fight completed as well. So yeah, I only have 8 MP, so this is actually a problem. So first I need to haste Titus. Next, I need to use, what was it? I need to use Dark Attack on the boss. I need to use the Dark Attack on the boss because it will inflict the boss with darkness, which will severely reduce its physical accuracy and guarantee a dodge. So as you can see, it used Drain Touch. And essentially, the reason why I needed to use that is so I can essentially, okay, so delay attack costs 8 MP, so yeah, I have to regenerate MP immediately afterwards. So I gotta use an ether on Titus. I gotta make sure that I use the ether while I'm on the boat, not while during this fight. Now, I need to use Swordplay, use Energy Rain on everyone. Nice. Okay, and then I just gotta... yeah, I just gotta attack normally with Waka. This brings the fishies back in. I dodged the Drain Touch, and now I need to finish off the fight before the boss has a turn. And that is why I got the delay attack, to essentially delay the boss's turn. So essentially I have 3 turns before I use Titus. If I use delay attack, I can have Waka actually act before the boss actually has a turn. So I'm going to use delay attack. Okay, now I'm going to use the... Actually, no, I'm not going to use the overdrive because that actually might potentially be detrimental. Attack the boss. Then use delay attack on the boss again. Yeah, this actually might be a problem. Frick. I can use Waka's Overdrive, but the problem is I suck at using it. I suck at using it. Yeah, I fucked this up. Had I used an ether before, I probably would have been able to win this fight without taking damage. Yeah, I already took damage. So yeah, I fucked this up. But, as you can see, as long as I remember to use an ether while I'm on the boat, this fight is definitely possible. This fight is definitely possible. I just have to rely on the delay attack, because I have to attack the boss before it uses its 3rd turn. Because the first 2 turns are essentially... like, the first 2 turns essentially have it use its... Drain Touch, which I can guarantee a dodge, but its third attack called Blender, I cannot dodge. Now, as you can see, with all the grinding that we did, it was not enough to get Titus's 1 sphere level with Titus, but it was enough to at least get some levels on the other characters. But if I do this for hours, then imagine the amount of sphere levels we can gain out of this. So yeah, unfortunately this was a failed experiment because I need to make sure that I use an ether on Titus before I end the fight on the boat. As long as I use an ether before I end the fight on the boat, then this is definitely possible. This is definitely possible, but as you can see, this is definitely doable. This is definitely doable, and it's definitely doable thanks to delay attack. So now we get to watch Sin Perfect Chaos the heck out of these innocent people. And of course the Blitzball survived. So yeah, as long as I remember to use an ether while I'm still on the boat, then I do have a chance against the squid. But I will...
That day, I woke up in Spira. I kept hoping it would work in reverse, too.
I will defeat Sin. I must defeat Sin.
I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was that day, on the sea, under the burning sun. I started to give up hope. I was in a foreign world. I wasn't going home. This was my new reality, and I was stuck in it for good.
So I'll just let some extra cutscenes play out, and then I'm going to end the stream here. And actually, maybe I'll do another demonstration footage. Maybe I'll do another demonstration footage of that squid fight right afterwards, because you guys already got the idea of how I'm going to overgrind with the Sin spawns.
Greetings. I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the temple in Besaid.
Oh, milady summoner!
If there is no other summoner here, please allow me to perform the sending.
Ah, thanks be to you.
Our loved ones. We feared they would become fiends.
Please, take me to them.
Yeah, the cutscene coming up here is absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to stop the recording here. I just need to record the destruction of the village because I forgot to record that when I was initially recording the fight, when I was recording footage and such. But yeah, I'm not going to bother saving at the save sphere because I'm actually going to be resetting. I'm just more or less wanting to show this cutscene because this is probably like one of the most beautiful cutscenes in all of video gaming. This is honestly so beautiful, and you can just feel the grievance and emotion of this scene. And this scene alone honestly just makes it impressive that this is a PlayStation 2 game.
You truly are clueless. Are you sure it's just your memory that's the problem? The dead need guidance.
But yeah, be prepared for
Filled
one
with
of the
grief
most
over their own
beautiful
death,
scenes
they
in the game.
refuse to face their fate. They yearn to live on and resent those still alive. You see, they envy the living. And in time, that envy turns to anger, even hate. Should these souls remain in Spira, they become fiends that prey on the living. Sad, isn't it? The sending takes them to the far plane, where they may rest in peace.
Summoners do this?
So yeah, very sad that all these people had to pass away. But this is definitely a necessity in order to make these souls move on. Because it will be a detriment if they were just kept alive. Or just kept here. Turn into fiends, but here Yuna can guide them to the afterlife so they can finally move on. And their loved ones will not have to worry about them turning into fiends. Yeah, this cutscene is beautiful. I absolutely adore it. Such a beautiful, sad scene. But at least they can move on.
It must be tough, being a summoner.
Yuna chose her own path. She knew from the beginning what it meant. All we can do is protect her along the way, until the end.
Until the end? What's the end?
Until she defeats sin.
More context to that, but it's kind of spoilers at the moment.
I hope I did okay.
You did very well. They've reached the far plane by now, but no tears next time. Hmm?
I wished there would never be a next time. No more people being killed by sin. No more sendings for Yuna. Everyone stood there watching her. It was strange, and somehow horrifying. I never wanted to see it again.
Well, hopefully you never have to see it again. So there you go. When we eventually continue on, we'll be able to continue on through the rest of this game, but yeah.
You awake? Captain Walker's waiting for you.
And it's kind of funny how relaxed this village is, considering that there was a mass genocide that just happened here not too long ago. But yeah, gonna close down the game. I am not gonna save. I'm not going to save because I need to assure that I'm able to defeat that second fight as long as I remember to recover Titus's MP before I end the fight, because I don't want to do like 13 hours of straight grinding against the sin scales just to forget that just to forget about the MP essentially. So we're gonna load back to the SS Leaky corridor. So essentially I'm just gonna quickly get through the sin scale fight, and then knowing that an ether recovers 100 MP, and right now Titus has only 32 MP. 32 MP is pretty much all I need for me to get to the next fight.
So, is...
She's the daughter of High Summoner.
Oh, I can skip this? Didn't know I could skip this. Good, let's just button mash through all this.
It's tough.
Huh?
Waka's a bit...
Huh?
I just need to assure myself that I can... Oh, wait, I can actually... Oh, I can actually do Kamari. It's just there's nothing I can do with him at the moment. But yeah, Kamari's in the middle of the sphere grid. So I just need to figure out what part of the sphere grid I need to guide him to, because I can actually have him go up into Titus's sphere grid, but that's not what I want. I could have him go this way into Yuna's sphere grid, but that's also not what I want. But I could also have him go down here, and then I could have him go this way, maybe, but that's not what I want. So this goes into Lulu's sphere grid. This is where I can learn Jinx. This is where I can learn the extract mana. So I definitely want Kimari to learn these skills. And, okay, so this leads into Waka's. There's a certain one that I need to get to. Where is Riku's sphere grid? Because I think it's Riku's sphere grid that I need to get Kamari into. Copycat. Cry for Gil. Okay, so I think it's this direction. So I essentially want Kamari to go in this direction on the sphere grid, but we need to unlock some nodes in order for him to get into Riku's sphere grid. Because we want him to learn Steal and Use, but we also want him to learn something else while we're down here. Spare Change. This is the skill that we need to learn with Kamari. So essentially we need to get Kamari into Riku's sphere grid, essentially. But first, let's just get through this. We kind of have to button mash through cutscenes. Which is annoying, but, you know, video game. Stupid that these cutscenes are not skippable. I mean, I don't want to skip the cutscenes because this is a beautiful game with a beautiful story, but when you're doing a challenge run and have to sit through the cutscenes multiple times, it gets pretty repetitive, you know?
The wind. It's nice.
Can I button mash this? Doesn't look like I can. It looks like I have to legit sit for 3 minutes watching these two talk. Which, don't get me wrong, I love seeing these two interact. It's just... challenge run. Oh, Jesus. Excuse me.
You're a blitzball player, aren't you? From Xanarkand, right?
You hear that from Waka?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Okay.
Waka
Got
doesn't
some
believe it at all.
Skittles.
But I believe you.
Huh?
I've heard in Xanarkand there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
Huh?
Great blitzball tournaments are held there, and the stands are always full.
How do you know that?
A man named Jack told me. He was my father's guardian.
Checked. My father. His name is Jecht.
Amazing! You know, our meeting like this must be the blessing of Yevon.
Sounds like him, but it can't be him.
Why not?
My old man, he died. 10 years ago, off the coast of Xanarkand.
I'm sorry.
He went out to sea for training one day.
Jeez.
Never came back. And no one's seen him since then.
Why, that's the day that Jecht came to Spira.
But,
It's true, I first met Jecht 10 years and 3 months ago. I remember that was the day my father left. The date fits, doesn't it?
Yeah, but how would he get here?
You're here? Are you not?
What do you think you're doing? Stick a harpoon in him and we'll all get dragged under.
Zin is going for Kilika. We gotta distract it.
Our families are in Kilka. Forgive us, Lady Summoner. Wait! Oh boy!
Alright, here we go. So, once again, we essentially just need to make sure that we're able to attack the sin scales and all that without taking damage and such. And then we pretty much just summon Valefor to end the fight. But right now, so, I gotta remember to essentially use an Ether on Titus after Lulu has a turn and after I haste and use Cheer 5 times on everyone and grind against the sin scales. But then after that, I gotta make sure that Titus's MP is full as well as his overdrive. Kill the Sin Fin with an energy blast from Valefor, which thankfully goes up to the damage limit. Apparently I can't skip this cutscene. Excuse me. So I just need to make sure that I can do the second fight damageless. Because if I get hit once, then I essentially have to do an extremely long grind all over again. And no, Titus getting hit here does not count as him taking damage. It's a cutscene. Cutscene damages do not count. Alright. Alright, so there we go. A proper demonstration of hopefully us defeating the Sin Spawn damageless, thanks to the delay attack skill. So once the fight starts, we want to haste Titus. And then we want to use Dark Attack on the Spawn. Inflict it with Dark. To almost guarantee a dodge, essentially. Okay, and now that I am full on my MP, I can use Delay Attack without consequence. But before I do that... Wait a minute. Oh, that doesn't help. Shit. Okay, this actually might be a problem. I gotta get rid of all the fishes. Alright, there we go. Should I use an overdrive here? Okay, now that makes this turn go down, so I'm gonna just attack normally. And then use delay attack. Okay, dodge, good. Okay, and the synth fins did not spawn back again, so attack. Delay attack. Delay attack again. And there we go! We did it! We defeated this boss without taking damage. So it's definitely possible to beat this fight without taking damage, and that's what we're trying to prove. So there we go. We have a solid strategy. We just have to remember to fully recover Titus's MP during the boat fight. So we have a solid strategy, and we're gonna make this strategy work, guys. We have to make the strategy work. Heck yes.
When Sin attacked Xanarkand that day.
Alright, so we have a solid strategy. So there you go, guys. That's going to be the end of this stream. We're just going to let the cutscenes play out.
I will defeat Sin. I must defeat Sin.
I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was that day, on the sea, under the burning sun.
Yeah, I should probably like write down on a sticky note to remind myself to recover NP before I forget like an idiot.
I wasn't going home. This was my new reality, and I was stuck in it for good.
Alright. Kilika. So yeah, once we do the massive grind against those sin scales and kill that sin spawn at the end, and we have like an absurd amount of levels to use, the rest of the game or the rest of the run should go a lot more smooth.
Greetings. I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the temple in Besaid.
Oh, Milady Summoner!
If there is no other summoner here, please allow me to perform the sending.
Thanks, BT.
Our loved ones. We feared they would become fiends.
Please, take me to them.
We'll go see what we can do to help in town.
So attack with Lulu and then... just writing this down on a sticky note so I can remind myself to restore Titus's MP. Okay, so essentially the plan is that when we do the Sin Scale fight, we essentially need to buff Titus, Waka, and Kimari with haste once, and then cheer 5 times. Once we got 5 things of cheer and haste on all 3 of them, we just need to sneak Lulu in just to get an attack, swap her out, and then as we're continuing to attack the Sin Scales with Titus, Waka, and Kimari, we got to fully restore Titus's MP with an Ether. So an Ether, which pretty much restores MP, like 100 MP, even though Titus doesn't have 100 MP, we got to essentially fully restore that onto him. And once we enter the fight against the big squid, we essentially need a full thing of MP in order to make that fight possible. And then after hours and hours of fighting Sin Scales and getting a lot of sphere levels and then killing that squid damageless, we'll have a lot of sphere levels and we won't have to grind for as much for the rest of the run. We'll still have to do some grinding, mainly to get items or, to gain power speed and mana spheres back and all that, because we'll be using them on the sphere grid. But essentially the plan is that as we're leveling up Titus, we essentially want him to go through his sphere grid so he can learn Slow, Sloga, and Hastega. So we essentially want him to learn all this stuff. So once he learns Delay Buster will ensure a delay happens. Hastega, and then we'll keep on going. And once he gets down to here, it looks like he's just missing 4 points of strength, which is not going to be that big of a deal because we're going to warp Titus eventually into Orange Sphere Grid, where most of the strength spheres are. And pretty much the end of Titus's grind is when we learn Quick Hit. The sooner we learn Quick Hit, the better. Unfortunately, once we learn Quick Hit, it's like the most expensive skill in the game, and there's a good chance that Titus will not be able to use it. So we may have to rely on Delay Attack instead of Quick Hit, but a Quick Hit essentially ensures that we'll get more turns after, well, hitting an enemy. And then down here is going into Unisphere Grid, but we don't want him to go into Unisphere Grid. We want to essentially warp him to Orange Sphere Grid when we eventually unlock Orin. And then as for Kimari, we essentially just want him to learn a few notes here and there. Essentially just increases MP, essentially. Increases MP and accuracy. MP and accuracy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just MP and accuracy. And then we want him to go in a certain direction. I think it's this direction. We want him to go, down here. End his grind about here. And then we want him to use a level 1 Q sphere to enter into Riku's sphere grid. Because essentially what we need him to do is get into here so we can eventually learn Spare Change, which is a skill that is somewhere around here. But we essentially want him to learn Steal, Use, and then once we get down to here, we get Luck and Spare Change. So we essentially want Kimari to get down to this particular spot to learn Spare Change. And yeah, there is a good reason why we are grinding Kamar to that level. As for Lulu, we're pretty much just going to get through our entire sphere grid. Same thing with Waka and Yuna. And Titus, we're going to eventually get onto Orange sphere grid to learn more strength. And once we eventually master Yuna sphere grid, we're going to try to get Yuna onto Lulu sphere grid for more evasion, as well as learning black magic, as well as improving war on her magic. And yeah, that's essentially the plan for the grind. So there you go, guys. The next thing I have to do is essentially make sure the turbo controller works for what I need it to do. Once I ensure that the turbo controller works, and it works for the strategy that I need it to work for, then I can essentially grind infinitely. I can grind infinitely, and then once I feel like I've probably reached 99 sphere levels, then that's where the grind is eventually going to end-ish. And yeah, we essentially just got to hope for the best and hope not to get hit, essentially. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this stream. So when I eventually stream again, it's hard to say when I'm going to stream again. Maybe I might stream myself doing Blitzball or something, because I think for a majority of this run, I want to actually record it as opposed to stream it, and I probably will only stream if I'm doing grinding sessions. But yeah, once we continue on, we're going to be essentially getting through Kilika, defeating what we can defeat, do as many optional stuff as possible, make sure we gain as many ultimate weapons and the crests and sigils as much as possible, do some Blitzball so we can get Waka's overdrives, and then proceed down the road, and from there it's pretty much just keep on going until we eventually reach boss fights that surpass the damage limit, essentially. Surpass the damage limit where even 3 party members are not enough to kill that said boss fight. So, yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching this stream. And, yeah, we have a strategy of getting through those 2 fights while being able to hopefully get 99 sphere levels. So, thank you all so much for watching. You all have a good day and good night. And I'll see you guys in the next Nitsa Gamer video or Nitsa Gamer stream. Goodbye.